Yes, get them off the screens for the most part. Okay, limited screen time is very important. And the damaging effects of that to the brain are becoming clearer and clearer to us. So anything more than an hour a day is shown to have really detrimental effects, especially as they're younger, right? The younger they are, the more negative the effects can be. But other than that, constant stimulation is really important for kids. And what we make a flaw in doing for kids is trying to teach them too much instead of letting them figure it out. A big mistake a lot of adults make is trying to answer kids' questions too much. So we think we're doing a good thing because we're giving them knowledge. But knowledge isn't really the most important thing. We can always get the knowledge. Can we build the brain to think better? Right? So oftentimes, child might ask, as my son did, what happens to the sun at night? Why does it get dark? He was 4 or 5 at the time. I don't remember the exact age. He was very young. And he's just starting to think about the world. He said, what happens to the sun? Well, that's a great question. What most parents tend to do is they say, oh, well, the sun, the earth spins and the sun goes behind and hides behind the earth until morning. We give a simple explanation of that. What a missed opportunity. Why not instead say, what do you think happens to the sun at night? Who cares what answer they give to that question? The trick is to get them thinking about it, right? To make them come up with an answer. The answer is going to make no sense whatsoever. It doesn't matter. And then when they give an answer, you say, well, why do you think that? Or can you explain it to me further? Or how would this part work, right? Doesn't matter if they're right. Right's irrelevant at that age to that question. And it doesn't mean later you can't tell them the answer. And it doesn't mean later that there aren't some questions where we need to give them answers, of course, right? For certain things, we need to give them answers. But we should seize these opportunities with kids to enrich the brain. Let me tell you about another study. So they had a study where they were going to have kids play with a toy they'd never seen before. And they either had a person show the kids how to use the toy through a little instructional period, or they gave the kid the toy and just said, go play with it. Well, what happens, do you think, when the kids were told how to play with the toy? They didn't play with the toy that much. Why? Because someone already told them what to do with the toy. Now it's not that fun anymore. But figuring out what to do with the toy, making up their own ideas of what to do with the toy, that's interesting, right? So we just need to put kids in intellectually rich environments, keep the brain stimulated in different ways, let it grow in different ways. And that is an aid to helping them think. It's not really teaching them critical thinking, but it is wonderful for overall thinking, processing, brain development, and so forth.